Inflation drops to 15.40% in November 2021 from 15.99% in October 2021, says National Bureau of Statistics. Nigeria beat other countries in Africa and the Middle East to emerge first in open government partnership implementation. Plus, oil prices retreat on bets that crude supply growth will exceed demand. This is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Benny Adams, your guide. Good to have you join us on the business side of life, and we start with the cheering news that Nigeria beat other countries in Africa and the Middle East that are implementing the open government partnership to emerge first position. This is coming on the heels of independent review of reforms embarked upon by implementing countries. The review tracked the assessed milestones achieved by the Nigerian government in setting up beneficial ownership registry to end anonymous companies in the country.
A lot of improvements since then. NIT kept pushing and pushing. President Muhammad Buhari, while attending the anti-corruption summit in London, made a commitment, first of all, to the open governance partnership, and Nigeria committed to sign and did sign by July of that year, and also made a commitment to establishing an open register of a beneficial ownership of companies operating in Nigeria.
The first step we took was to ensure that there was a deadline within which Nigeria would queue into the beneficial ownership disclosure. So we published a roadmap, and that roadmap was streamed into our national and country work plans.
And moving on, the federal government is compiling a list of banks and ministries, departments and agencies define the directive of the president on migrating government funds to the Treasury single account, TSA. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed made the disclosure while inaugurating the reconstituted Treasury single account implementation structures with a 3-month mandate. Liakatumba Batunde completes the story.
One of the public financial management tools of the federal government that has proven to be effective is the Treasury Single Account TSA, a financial policy to consolidate all inflows from all agencies of government into a single account at the Central Bank of Nigeria. It has made it easier to determine government cash balances, reduce cost of borrowing, enhance liquidity, block leakages, and improve internally generated revenue performance. However, the government is frowning at the disobedience by some institutions and agencies with the directive of President Muhammad Buhari on TSA.
We have information that there are still some of these accounts that are held by deposit money banks. We have a compilation of those, and the anti-corruption agencies will be doing those recoveries for us.
It is time to take stock and plan for the future. The TSA Supervisory Board and Interministerial Implementation Committee are the reconstituted implementation structures to do just that and have their job already cut out.
Obviously, the competencies, expertise, and capacity are there. Nigerian companies first, and I think we have developed capacity over years in that regard.
One of the dynamics and the advantages of having operators is efficiency, effectiveness, and driving down cost of operations.
Between January and October 2021, a total of 86 billion naira in revenue was generated through the TSA, but the government wants a reduction in cost of collection and allowance for more players to come in to the payment system that has been run by a single company since inception. In Abuja, Leah Katungbaba today.
The federal government has continued to introduce programs that will make the growing youth population employed and self-reliant, all in a bid to address unemployment and underemployment. One of these schemes is the Israel-Nigeria Innovation Fellowship for aspiring inventors and researchers in Nigeria. Joining me to talk more on promoting innovation and entrepreneurship in Nigeria is the Charge d'Affaires Embassy of the State of Israel in Nigeria, Yotam Kreman. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Good. Let's start with the question. Raising a generation of innovators, inventors, and researchers in Nigeria is what we need to drive development in Nigeria. Is that true?
Indeed, and that was the goal when we started this project more than 1 year ago, when we had the IFAIR 1, the first round, the first year of the IFAIR program, which is an accelerator program inside the Innovation Hub here in Abuja to help young innovators, startup companies to transfer their idea from the idea level into a viable solution for one of the challenges Nigeria is dealing with and solve this problem by creating a product that answers the need and bringing that product to market. The program itself is a 6-month program that we built to take them from the idea level to a product level. At first, a proof of concept, then a minimum viable product. And at the end of the program, they get to present their ideas to investors that can give them the funding they need to start their company and create jobs.
How come about this initiative? What was the reason behind it and what aim are you set out to achieve?
Well, this collaboration together with the Office of the Vice President came to answer a necessity that we understood with the Office of the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, that we have several fields in Nigeria in which startup companies can help the entire country. It is food security, food technology, green renewable energy, medical devices and simulators, and ideas for inclusion of people with disabilities into society. Those programs, those 5 fields, are the fields according to which we chose our participants. We had over 2,000 young innovators, men and women from all over Nigeria, apply this year. And through a long selection process that lasted more than 3 months, we picked the 58 most promising candidates to start our program for the year.
Okay, 2,000 aspiring innovators actually applied, 50-something were taken. Is that number not minimal? Is it a continuous thing? Knowing that Israel, your country, is a technological giant. How can we get there? Can we have more of this initiative? Can we have more numbers coming in to benefit? And how long is this initiative going to last?
We're hoping it would last for many years. Yes, Nigeria has the full potential to become a fully fledged startup nation, just like the Israeli experience have shown. What we're hoping is to inspire more and more young innovators and entrepreneurs to realize their dreams by taking the risk they need and the investments they need from their own time and experiences and build their own companies. Of course, 58 are the number of participants we were able to take and support throughout this year's program. But first of all, we are growing twice as big as last year. We had 21 graduating fellows last year. So we are growing our program. But we also hope to see more governments taking the inspiration from what we are doing and investing in innovators and inventors in Nigeria to support the startup ecosystem. An ecosystem of innovation takes a long time to build. Nigeria already has a very stable beginning of one, and we want to support it and make it grow with whatever means we have and whatever knowledge we are able to share.
Okay, from what you've said, this is a collaboration from the office of the vice president. Will I say with the office of the vice president? How big is this collaboration, and who are the beneficiaries of this project?
So this project aims to start to help young innovators at the beginning of their career, but it's not the only project that is running with the assistance of the Embassy of Israel at the Innovation Center in Abuja. This project was enabled throughout the help of not only the Office of the Vice President, but of course the Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Uno, who's been with us from the beginning and from the start of this project, and the Ministry of Housing and Works, of course different participants that assisted us, such as Airpeace, such as Heritage Bank, TED Fund, the biggest, Innovate Hub, the place itself, of course, NTA, FCMB, Zell Program for Entrepreneurship. We had a lot of partners joining in together, the World Intellectual Property Organization, because each one of those inventions need to be registered as a patent, of course, protected. So we've had a lot of partners that made this possible for us to accomplish. What is interesting is the partnership with the universities, both Gregory University in Uturu in Abia and Reichman University from Herzliya in Israel, who donated the biggest entrepreneurship program that exists academically in the world, Zell program, that produced until today more than 128 successful startups that created very successful companies in Israel. They are giving their full content and their full backup to our program here, and our participants get to enjoy the entire program for free.
Well, from what you've said, it's like the opportunities actually abound. Then tell us about the iFair and the focus of it all.
Perfect. The iFair itself, as an accelerator program, is comprised of several stages. In the first stage, there is the course itself, in which they learn what is entrepreneurship, how to build a business canvas and a business plan, how to develop their business idea, find their target audience to which they can sell their products. It's a business-oriented course. At the end of the course, around February and March, they will have 2 months in which the engineers and experts from Israel will visit Nigeria again and assist them in building their products. Once the products are ready, they will enter another studying phase in which they will learn how to pitch their idea for investors, much like the Shark Tank is working. And once they are practiced pitching their ideas and they know how much investment they need for a fully standing company, they will be able to meet with the investors at the graduation event in June. Different bankers and different people with interest are joining us together as the audience, and they will pitch their ideas, the innovators, and receive the investments that they need to get started. And of course, we, the Embassy of Israel, together with our partners, Skill G, Innovate Hub, we will continue to support them throughout the first stages of them building a company with office space, with supply, with engineering, with everything they need until their company is standing on its feet and succeeding. And that's what we're aiming to do. So this is the second year we're doing this program. The first year was very successful. We're hoping this year will be even more.
Oh, wow. This seems a very huge investment. Who pays the bill at the end of the day? And for those who are not yet on board this as beneficiaries, if they are to apply as Nigerians, how do they get to apply? What is the selection process like?
So for this year, we've already selected the participants, and they have started in the opening week the process of this year. But we are hoping to see next year, when we open the registration between August, September 2022 and until November 2022, more than 2,000 people apply. This is enabled only through the help of our partners that are helping us to finance the program, which costs more than $300,000 a year. We've had the Israeli Ministry of the Foreign Affairs contributing a big part from the Israeli government. We've also had assistance from Nirsal, from TED Fund, from RCC, from different companies here in Nigeria, of course, Heritage Bank, Skill G themselves, and we've had other partners joining in with us to assist in making this happen, including the Young Innovation Leadership Fellows from Lagos. So we've had several companies coming together, and of course several government ministries that have joined us in making this possible. So we are very grateful for our partners that are understanding our dream to support innovation and startups in Nigeria.
We are also grateful on behalf of Nigerians. Well, at this point, Mr. Yotam Kreman charged the affairs of the State of Israel in Nigeria. Thank you so very much for sharing your thoughts with us at this particular point in time, and hoping that this partnership is strengthened to better and effective output.
Amen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, let's now take a trip to the commodities market. Data just coming in from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that inflation dropped to 15.40% in November 2021 from 15.99% in October 2021, falling by 0.59%. Statistician General of the Federation, Simon Harry, who released the figure, says inflation has declined continuously for 8 months, and this shows that government effort at improving the economy is yielding results. And on agriculture, the board of the African Development Bank has approved a $210 million loan for the takeoff of the proposed Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone program in Nigeria. The loan facility is helped to unlock Nigeria's agriculture sector potential and promote industrialization through the development of strategic crops and livestock. The first phase of the program will be implemented with co-financing from other partners in the amount of $538.05 million. This will be implemented in 7 states and the FCT, focusing on 13 crops including livestock, fisheries, and beef, and the dairy production. The states are Cross River, Imo, Kaduna, and Kano states. Others are Kwara, Ogun, and Oyo states. The president of the bank, Akinwumi Adesina, in a statement said the benefiting states where the first phase of the program will be implemented were selected based on the readiness criterion as well as the need to ensure graphical balance across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. There is a notable increase in trade at the Akwa Ibom State Central Abattoir and Livestock Depot, which is not unconnected with the rush by customers and consumers of beef to avoid last-minute business activities associated with the Yuletide. Kevin Samuel, who was at the abattoir, reports that prices of commodities are on the high when compared to prices of last season's trading.
Of buying and selling, as most people prepare for one event or the other, as well as welcome loved ones who often use the period to visit home after a long while at their various places of work. A priority need by families at this time of the year to make the season enjoyable and memorable is beef. This, the management of Akwa Ibom State Central Abattoir says it is aware and is fully prepared to ensure adequate supply of livestock within hygienic standards.
Our amiable governor has been able to put in some shock absorbers so that the prices could be controlled, and also what we consume would be of standard.
This season, no festivity. There are burials, wedding, and so on and so forth. Like they have opened the Christmas village, they now need the supply of this meat more than what we used to slaughter.
As far as the number and to satisfy Akwa Ibom people with healthy animals, we are 100% ready.
The people are, however, not at home with the current prices of livestock as goods now sell from 25,000 naira.
And good day from 20, 25, 30, 30 something. And everything they cost now.
All our products are within. When it is within, there is tendency of hike in price. And also why they cannot bring it from outside because of the exchange rate.
Residents of Uyo are, however, optimistic that the Christmas celebration will be an interesting event despite the present economic situation, while advising others to do only what they can afford, leaving the rest for next season. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited NNPC is again giving Nigerians assurance that they will have product sufficiency that will last far beyond the festive period. A statement by Garbadin Mohammed, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, NNPC says its stock has risen from a reserve of 1.7 billion liters to over 2 billion liters within the last month. Thus, the statement urged Nigerians not to engage in panic buying, but to fully enjoy the spirit of the festive season, and assured that the organization will continue to work tirelessly to ensure sufficient supply of petrol to every part of the country. And oil prices fell on Wednesday for a third day on growing expectations that supply growth will outpace demand growth next year, even though the Omicron variant is not seeing cabin mobility as sharply as earlier COVID-19 variant. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures fell 52 cents to $70.21 a barrel after losing 56 cents in the previous session. Brent crude futures fell 43 cents to $73.27 a barrel after losing 69 cents on Tuesday. Next is the global market with Posede Ebo.
Welcome to the Global Market Review. Now, investors in the United States are focused on central bank action this week from the U.S. Federal Reserve. The Dow Jones Industrial Average advanced 0.04%, while S&P and Nasdaq Composites are both on the red. Investors in Europe watched closely for commentary around whether the Federal Reserve plans to accelerate the end of its bond buying program. DAX was 0.25% high at 15,491.66. CAC 40 of France topped 0.67% across 6,941.86, while London FTSE dipped 0.48% to close 7,185.54. Asian markets were mostly down Wednesday, with Chinese markets declining as investors digested key Chinese economic data. Hong Kong markets led losses, with the Hang Seng Index tumbling 0.19% at 23,420.76. The Shanghai Composite also dipped at 0.38% across 3,647.63, while the Nikkei topped 0.10% to close 28,459.72. On the African market, most African stocks closed mostly negative despite British announcements on removal of 11 African countries from the country's red list, stating that the travel restrictions are no longer effective to contain the spread of the Omicron variant of coronavirus since it's now widespread. That's the Global Market Review. I am Boss Sede Ebo.
Thank you, Bosede. And with that, we end this edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on NTA's channel. Business Express returns Thursday by 9:30 a.m. I am Benny Adams saying COVID-19 is real. Stay safe.